Well, the Unicorn Summit has a mission. The mission is to make the world a better place and create a world of abundance. What is a world of abundance? I was lucky enough to be successful on business. I got a real estate company. We have 1,500 apartments in construction. That's about 500 million in total revenue if we would sell everything up front right now. It gets to a point where the question is, if you have money in your bank account, 2, 3, 4 million, does it make a difference to have 10 million or 20 or 100? It's just a number when you go to your bank account. So I was lucky enough to get to a point where if I have more money there, what will I do with it? What do I need it for? How would you use $100 million? How would you use $1 billion? If you had it on your bank account right now, that's the question I had to think about. How would I change my world? I'll buy a bigger car, a better car, a yacht, right? That's one answer. It's okay. If you're happy with that decision, perfect. You're making yourself happy and you're buying your happiness. It's perfect. You're investing in your happiness. It's a good answer. It's okay. My choice is to create a world where everybody enjoys the life I can have. So, a world of abundance is a world where every single person on the planet has a home, has a possibility to pursue their purpose in life, and can create a world where they are happy. So the question is, how do you do that? We already have a guideline. There are 17 global development challenges. No more poverty, water for every human being, a shelter for everyone, transportation available for everyone. How amazing it would be to live in a world like that. And that's how I want to spend my extra money. I want to help build a world of abundance for everyone. And Unicorn Summit came as a way to get there. Why? Because the answer to the question, how do you build a world of abundance? The answer is together. That's how you do it. So creating an event that can scale globally will help us bring more people in order to create this world of abundance together. That's the main reason behind the Unicorn Summit.
Phenomenal. And it's been great to be part of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing that journey. So I remember I was here last year in Lisbon. Yep. This year I see you in Lisbon again, but you're also going out to the Americas, North and South. Looking forward to hearing more about that. And there's two other agendas I saw you putting out there. What's the progress towards that?
Yeah. So the event is going to South America, August 30th, 31st. And North America will be in Berkeley, California, 17, 18. The reason we're having these events globally is that we want people to come in person. We have a great online platform. People can go there and attend the event online. And we got people from all over the world attending. But you need the human connection. As Mirella was saying, trust has to be built in person. Still. So the reason why we're doing these globally is because we want people to have the possibility to move and come to these events. And if it is too further away, the cost of traveling is still like $1,000, $2,000. And some people cannot be able to, might not be able to join. So that's the reason why we're scaling globally, to give everybody the opportunity to join. And then we got the global online platform, which is the possibility for all others who cannot even come in person. So that's fine. We give them the opportunity to attend, and at least they can follow the content, which is not the same, but at least is a spark for the future where they can support the cost and pay the cost of coming to the event in person.
Great. Yeah. I'm going to echo the point around in person. So being here over the last couple of days has been fantastic for me. And one of the reasons for that is the people I've met. Yeah. So yes, I could have seen them online. I could have seen them and I listened to their speeches. But just being able to talk to them and exchange ideas. And then, again, I could have done that on a Zoom call. but a Zoom call has a start and an end. Whereas I had a conversation, and I'm going to pick on Evandro. So I had a great conversation with him, and then walk away, come back, run into him, and we carry on that conversation, and then we happen to be getting a coffee together, and that conversation continues. Yeah, and ideas are sparking, and we've got some follow-ups now, and those follow-ups will happen on Zoom calls, but if some of those follow-ups go through, they're going to result in us getting together sooner rather than later in person again. So that's been very powerful for me. Even today, there's a lady in the back row there who connected with me, so I'm going to follow up with her again offline. But in person, if we hadn't run in today, we wouldn't be connecting. It's fantastic. So keep doing what you're doing.
Has to be built in
Yeah.
person,
Yeah. So you mentioned, I want to go back to the wealth point.
Sure.
And what can you do with money? Because we were just having a great conversation. So the way you've described it is it's given you freedom.
Right.
And it's given you freedom to do what drives you, some purpose. Let's delve into that a little bit more deeply. How did you get to the point where you were looking at wealth in that way rather than the more traditional male model of, right, I can buy some status symbols with this. I need to get a better watch, a bigger house, buy myself a private jet. What was the trigger in Nuno's life that got you to be thinking in that way where wealth is freedom and allows you to look at your purpose?
Well, if you think about wealth, why do we have money? What is money for? To buy stuff. Pay the cost of living. So being alive requires a maintenance. We need food, we need a shelter, we need a car. So being alive requires maintenance. So there's a cost associated with it. Who pays for it? Up to 18, our parents.
I thought you said a man was not a financial plan.
Can I have a little bit of water? My mouth's a little dry. Can you guys get me a little bit of water? Yeah, sorry. So, well, it's true. Husbands, not true. Amazing husbands. Right, Mirella? Amazing husbands. She's not paying attention. She doesn't get it anymore. Yeah, amazing husbands do. That's true. So after 18, either you have an amazing husband or...
The husband has to have the money.
Exactly as you put it. Thank you so much. Just a second. Yeah, 1 second.
And if he has the money...
That was 2 days with the Unicorn Summit. My speaking is not as fluent as it was for the 2 days. So there you go. So we were following the idea of, okay, so you need money. Somebody needs to pay the bills for you to survive and, feed yourself and so forth. So again, after 18, either you have an amazing husband and there are not many available around. It's hard to get them. Okay. So either you have an amazing husband or you have to, find a way to get money. How do you get money? Work one way. Perfect. Decent. It's fine. There's a price tag with it. You pay with time. Can you get that time back? Nope. So it would be good. So you end up working to survive. And do you like what you're doing? Are you happy? Second question. If you find the work that you do for someone else and that you're happy, wonderful. What if you're not? How many people working today are happy? We got to solve that. Right? How do you solve that? How do you find happiness if the person does what they love? But if they're doing what they love, it's hard to monetize. As Mirella was saying. So there are 2 ways to go around it. You become an entrepreneur and you find ways to monetize on your passion. That's why coming to Mirella's event, Unicorn Summit, or John Lee is important. It's the route today for freedom. Or, that's what I want to do, not me, but the community that we're building want to do, is what if we create a world where everybody is free from the start? What if there's a world of abundance where you are born in a world where you never have to work for others to survive because there's enough automation for you to survive with things available for you to survive? How do you mean? What do you mean? Food. What if we had robotics that creates food and food is available for everybody at marginal cost? Today, food is expensive, right? Communication was expensive 20 years ago. It's free today. We live in a world of abundance of information. You can call anybody in the world. I remember when I moved to the US, I was paying $2 to call my mom, $2 per minute. There was no abundance of information back then. Shit, that shit's I needed money to be happy to call my mother. Somebody solved that problem for me. Now it's free to call, to do video calls. I paid for a phone call. Fuck, oh sorry. I should, Ruben, cut that part please. So, edit that one. Do you see what a world of abundance is? A world of abundance is a world where every human being can pursue their purpose in life. That's the world I want to live in. And to get to that world, and again, I was lucky enough to have the possibility to study. Then I went to the US, then I went to NASA, then I did a lot of stuff. But I was blessed to have those opportunities. And here's the thing. I'm doing my little bit to make the world a better place. What if every single human was able to do that? How amazing would that world be? Right? And that's the world we want to create together. If every single one of us builds their passion, builds their purpose, and here's the beauty of the story. If you work for others, your productivity, sorry for that, your productivity is not optimized. You're working like 20% of what you can achieve. Why do entrepreneurs are so productive? They're doing what they love. So think about the current economy. You have people doing what they don't like, producing 20% of their optimum performance. What if suddenly they're doing what they love, 100% of their performance, 5 times the economy, just there? What amazing world would that be? Everybody happy. The main source of depression in others, one of the sources of depression in others, is frustration. But there's no better formula today than startups and entrepreneurship. What if we could create a world of abundance with automation, as we did with cell phones? Cell phones created a world of abundance for information and communication. Can we do that with physical products? Can we do this with food, with cars, automated cars, self-driving cars circulating around for free, if not free, the cost of energy? You know what I mean? It's not that far. And then I went to NASA for a program at NASA 2009. I was selected. I was lucky. And I learned about exponential technologies. And I was passionate about 3D printing, biotechnology. We can cure all diseases in the next 10, 20 years. It's true. Genetics, biotech, nanotech. I was able to see that future back in 2009. So since 2009, that my mission is to create a world of abundance for everybody. Along the journey, I did my entrepreneurial journey. I was lucky. Things went well, so I became free. And I'm spending that time helping others to, help me build this world of abundance for everybody. So this is the summary of the vision. Sorry for being so bored. Sorry for that. That's the root. So why don't you? So your question was, why don't you buy a better watch? I don't even have one. So that's the way to minimize cost. My physical needs in terms of cost of clothing and stuff are minimal. I don't care much about that. My focus is really on happiness. My time is spent, I could live with $300, $400. I even do caloric restriction. So what I do is intermittent fasting. It's not because of the cost. It could be, but it's because it's healthier. So, because here's another thing. We care about money. What's your most precious asset? Health and time. They're correlated. There's no money there. What do you need for health and time? Well, you need money for health. You need food. You need good food, healthy food. You need to sleep properly, but sleep properly, you don't need anything. You know what's the best predictor for longevity? Don't smoke, don't drink. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't have children. That's another one.
I'm sorry, you know, a group of ladies.
Yeah.
Sleep well, you don't need
Don't have
anything.
kids.
Don't have children.
Don't have children. I love it. And I want you to participate. I love how everybody's starting to participate. You know what's the best predictor of longevity? You know the best predictor of longevity? Community. How well connected you are and how much you love your family and your loved ones and your community. Love is the answer from the start. Isn't it? Isn't it? There you go. And women and all women emanate love. Men, some. Some of us do. Testosterone screws up things on our side. But do you see this thing? Yeah, we're going to finish. Sorry for that. That's a good way to give me the point. That's a little bit the story. That's a little bit the vision. So we spoke about health. We spoke about time. Those are the two most precious assets. Money is a tool to get health and time. Keep that in mind. Money is not the end goal. Don't lose your health in order to get the money. Why? Is that your priority? That's fine. So again, but this is not a recipe for happiness. That's my recipe for my happiness. Feel free to, follow your happiness. The goal is happiness, actually. It's not even health. The goal is happiness. I'm happy with the style of life I have. So, my life is very simple. I like to go to the gym. I go to the gym, every single day. I love, exercising, playing soccer, playing sports. I do some fasting because data shows it's better. I feel better that way. So my health is a priority, but don't get too focused on it, again, because you have to be relaxed. Stress, if you study that, is not very good too, so don't get stressful about it. And community. So love is fundamental in our lives. Health and time are the two main pillars I value. And money is just a tool to make the world a better place. So this is my vision of these pillars.
No, that's good. And I want to give go off on a little tangent around the community and love piece. So who's heard of blue zones? Yeah. And obviously there's a lot of material out there. And I remember watching something on blue zones on YouTube. And in this particular piece, they decided to emphasize the bit about community. So yes, they'd done stuff around healthy diets in southern Japan and in Sardinia and places like that. But when they got to the community one, they made a point. They showed a community where people were routinely living into their 90s and over 100. And the community spirit was huge. It involved around people walking into their local towns and villages to go to the cafe where they would sit down and spend time with friends while they had an alcoholic drink and smoked cigarettes. Now, I'm not condoning that kind of thing, but the act of walking into town, the act of spending time with their community, with their regular friends, telling jokes, not solving the world's problems, but just having that community was far more important. That was the final point. It was far more important than any of the other factors that were there. And I love the point around happiness. So, personal story for me, and it comes back to the trading time for money in a corporate role. Mirela mentions I spent 26 years working for a particular bank. You don't spend 26 years without being happy for most of that time. And I was happy until I wasn't. And that revolved around people as well. I had two great bosses for most of those 26 years. Those two guys both left the firm within a year of each other. And after that, I didn't settle. And I did eventually get to the point where I asked myself, am I happy? Yeah. And the answer was no. And part of the reason was I was not enjoying my work anymore. And that was the trigger for me starting to leave. Mirela mentioned it earlier. When I was meeting Mirela, I'd written down what did I want from someone that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. There weren't many things written down, but it wasn't stuff like I want them to ski. It wasn't stuff that they did. It was who they were. And the top of the list was the point she mentioned. I was looking for someone who was happy, who knew that she was responsible for her own happiness and was not looking for me to be the source of her happiness. I can't make someone happy. Yeah. I can make them unhappy. I might be able to make them smile and laugh, but not happy. And so she definitely ticked that box. And for me, that's become a guiding light now. When I'm going through, what am I going to do? Part of it is, will this make me happy, or will this contribute to my happiness? We were talking earlier about where I live. We were talking about assets. Most people would look at a lot of people will look at their house as an asset. What's it worth? Where's it located? Is it in a good neighborhood? I chose where I live because I wanted something that had a real fire, because I love sitting by my real fire, and I wanted to be in nature, or close to nature. And I ended up buying somewhere where I have nothing opposite me except grassland, and the back of the house slopes down to the water meadows for the local river. We get deer in the garden, pheasants. At night I hear owls. I love just being able to open the doors and see that. And it's irrelevant about where it is and what it's worth. It's what it means to me, and I chose it with intention. And I think that word, intention, has become a word you hear a little bit more. Living your life with intention. Now, I know we have to wrap up, but one quickly, Nuno, what does that mean for you, living with intention?
Yeah, I think it's the critical point, right? It's happiness by intention. Intention is, well, when you look into yourself, let's do some introspection. This is becoming a personal. Okay, we gotta finish. 1 minute. I'll wrap it up. Well, when you look into your life, let's start with looking into happiness and intention. First question you got to do is, am I happy? That's the question I always try to do to myself. Am I happy? But it's different to be happy today or be happy in general. I could be miserable today because something went wrong. That's not the question. The question is, are you truly happy? If you're not, how do you envision yourself being happy? And then let's talk about what needs to change from how you are today, where you are today, to how you see yourself being happy. Because to have a journey, you need a destination. You need a star that guides you to where you want to go. So think about it for yourself. Am I happy? And how would I see myself being very happy? And I myself, the answer to these two questions are, I'm not happy because I look into the world and I see people, kids dying of poverty. And the world has 8 billion humans. And just because I don't see them, I know about it. I was lucky enough to be born here, but many others are not. And I feel responsible for everybody. Because we're all brothers and sisters when you look into the genetics. 2009, I did the 23andMe test, looking into the genetics. You know what struck me the most? What got me blown away? I come from everywhere. My genetics comes from everywhere around the world. I'm almost 7% Albanian.
They get everywhere.
Who else is Albanian here?
I'm becoming Albanian.
You're
Slowly.
You'll get a passport.
Yeah.
A melting pot, exactly. What this means is the genetics of all humans is very, very similar. 99.99999%. We're all brothers and sisters. So we have to take care of each other. So I will not settle. I will not be truly happy if my brothers and sisters are not well, at least physically well, happy in themselves. So I'll do my best to support them. So my free time, my most precious asset, my time, will be spent, and my money will be spent trying to do my best to support everyone. I'll help them grow, which is what Mirel is also doing, what Ian is also doing, which is empowering you to do the stepping stone towards your independence and getting more time. That's why events like this are so priceless. Truly priceless. They change your life. There's no price tag on that because your happiness depends on it. And the reason is because Mirella is amazing, obviously, and also because she had the love on herself to pursue this journey when she took care of herself. This is pure love. This is what we're talking about. These are the kinds. Sorry for that. These are the kinds of examples that, inspire. Mirella, thank you so much, my dear. Sorry about the Albanian time.